Hi everyone, I hope you're still enjoying your summer. Don't panic, this isn't a last minute summer project. I just wanted to have the opportunity to talk to each of you before school starts to let you know about some changes that are going to happen in AP Calculus this year. No, you aren't getting a new teacher, and yet the workload is still pretty hefty. But before I get into what is changing, let's talk about why it needs to change. This view should look very familiar to all of you. You've been trained how to be a successful student for a long time. You know the importance of good attendance and that you need to watch and listen to what's going on in class and writing down what's important and asking for clarification when you need it. I watch you trying to copy down what you see on the board as fast as you can, but then the bell rings and you have to grab your backpack and run off to your next class. When you get outside, do you look at each other and say, "What was that? Did you understand it? Because I'm not sure I did." You go home and you really do give your homework an honest try. But very often you come back the next day and tell me that you couldn't do it and that even your notes didn't help you. They didn't make as much sense at home because you couldn't remember what was said in class as you wrote them. And as you're struggling, that little voice of inner self doubt starts to tell you things that really aren't true. And I wonder how many of you see yourself as one lost in the crowd and you don't really want to speak up because you don't think anyone else has questions like you do. Well, let's look at this from the teacher's perspective. When I look out at each of you, I'm thinking, there are so many of you. How am I going to teach everyone and make sure that each of you really understands? I'm writing the notes as fast as I can because I've only got 51 minutes to get it all out. And I'm afraid I won't get enough done for you to even try your homework. But thankfully, you're still asking questions. Oh, you just forgot your book in your locker again. Okay, I will let you go get it, but you have to tell me what I just taught so that I know you understood it. And I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking, what was that? I have a problem. I need a more effective and efficient way to teach. My students have a problem. You need a more effective and efficient way to learn. So this summer, I started searching. I started by talking to my colleagues and then doing some research online. I was even able to attend this really great conference on flipped teaching. And through it all, I was always thinking about you. You each learn so differently and in your own way and at your own speed. And I have to find a way to be able to individualize the class for each of you to get the most out of it. So I started thinking about the processes of learning. There's individual learning and there's collaborative learning. And we need to decide what needs to happen at home when you're by yourself and what should take place inside the classroom to make the most out of your education. In the initial stages of learning, you're just being exposed to new material. Traditionally, this has always occurred in a classroom. You're used to hearing me say, "Get out your notebook, we're going to start a new section." But in reality, this stage is an individual stage where you need to be able to internalize the information through listening, reading, taking notes, and then taking the time to process that information by thinking about it. So then you have to remember what you did. So you make flashcards and you memorize your rules and your formulas and you go back and you look over your notes, and what you're doing is embedding that knowledge into your brain. Finally, you need to try some problems on your own without anyone interrupting you so that you can think about what you're doing and look over your work to see if you did it correctly. And if you happen to make a mistake, you should be able to go back and read your work and be able to find it and fix it. To maximize your personal productivity during this time, I'm going to put my lectures online in the form of a video. You'll be able to hear my voice as you see my writing appear. It'll be just like sitting in the front row of the class. You'll never have to worry about not being able to see the board or missing what was said. And it will also help you when you're absent. No matter what happens, you will always be able to get your notes and feel like you attended class. Now, creating, evaluating, and analyzing are all collaborative activities. They show up in project-based learning and through problem solving. Basically, when you're posed with a dilemma, you need to go through a process of brainstorming ideas for developing a plan, devise a solution, and then test it. If it works, you use it, but if it doesn't, then you go back and start the process over. These steps are most beneficial when done in a group. So by moving the lecture outside of our class time, we will have more time to work together on more difficult concepts and projects. So how does this whole process make your learning experience better? Well, after you watch the lecture videos online, there will be a form right below that you will need to fill out and submit to me. The form goes directly into my Google Docs account. So picture this. I'm enjoying my morning cup of coffee and I flip on my computer and I'm able to see exactly which of you did your homework and who didn't even try. I know that I can read your questions and ideas before I ever see you at school, so that by the time class starts, I've already been able to individualize what we do to specifically meet what each of you need. Basically, it makes the limited time that we do have together much more profitable for everyone. We can use this time to start doing new and different types of activities that will extend your understanding so that you can move on to bigger and better things. And if you happen to get into something that completely stumps you, you won't be sitting at home frustrated. You'll have all of your classmates and me right there for support. So in order to make this change happen in our classroom, there's some information I need from you. So when you're done watching this video, look directly below it on the website so that you can tell me how you access the internet, and please answer all of the specific questions that I need to know about what devices you have and how you use these devices. That way I'll know what we can integrate in the classroom this year. Now to finish off, I wanted to highlight some tools that will make your AP Calc year a success. You know that you're going to need a graphing calculator, and most of you already own one. But if you happen to be purchasing one, I prefer the TI-84 because when I watch students use them, it seems to be the one calculator that causes the least amount of frustration. But it's always your choice, but please do not choose the TI-89. The TI-89 has algebraic capabilities. You can do calculus and it shows you all of the steps in algebra. These are things and skills that you're going to need to build in your own memory and not do on a calculator. You have to be able to do them by hand. So that's the one calculator. The TI-89 is not allowed in my classroom. You will also need a notebook, colored pens or pencils, and we're going to continue using your flipbook from pre-calculus. Graphing paper is nice, especially when we're drawing arrangements for three-dimensional figures, and so if you'd like to have some of that, you can get that as well. In conclusion, I'd like you to start familiarizing yourself with the new structure of the class. So anytime you have a chance before school starts, go to the same site that you're on right now, waltherworld.penn.io, and look at the video on note-taking and on the prerequisite chapter. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and please don't forget to fill out the technology form below.